Hi, Erik, Linask here at Telex's CBX event in New York City, and I'm talking now with Jason Cohen from Allied Fiber. Jason, good morning. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Eric. Great to be here.
So it's been just over a week now since you guys made a pretty exciting announcement. Refresh our audience on that announcement first.
We announced last week at ITW that we've secured the financing that we need in order to finish building out all of Phase 1. Phase 1 is our route from Chicago to New York to Ashburn, Virginia, along with co-location facilities we're building every 60 miles along the route.
Why did you choose those particular sites for your first phase of deployment?
Well, the first phase we chose, number one, because there's a lot of customer demand for the New York-Chicago-Ashburn corridor. Secondly, we're building the entire route on railroad right-of-way, and based on the amount of existing duct that the railroad had in the right-of-way, the pieces that we would need to construct, and the demand for that route, that made the most logical sense.
And where did the 60-mile number come from?
Well, 60 miles is basically the 100 kilometers, and from an optical engineering standpoint, you basically are going to need to put op amps into your route about every 60 miles to regen or op amp the signal. For the long haul carriers, the people who are going, say, New York to Chicago, they're not interested in anything in between, they may skip a colo or two. But for the people who want to stop off along the way, not only do we have those co-locations every 60 miles, but we're building a multi-duct system. The second duct in the system is what we call the longitudinal duct. And what we allow customers to do is actually access the cable in the longitudinal anywhere along the route. The first duct is what we call the express. We don't let the customers access that except at the endpoints and at the colos. So depending on what the customer is trying to do, what kind of network they're looking to build, they can get fibers in either of those systems, and then we have additional ducts beyond that for expansion.
So what is the difference between those two ducts in terms of capability?
Well, the ducts are the same size, except we're going to put different types of cables in. In the first duct, the first long haul, we're going to put a minimum of a 432 fiber cable. It's going to be a composite cable, so it's going to have both non-zero dispersion shifted fiber in it, as well as single mode, low loss type fiber in the cable. And the second duct, the longitudinal, is going to also have a mix, but it's a somewhat smaller cable. It's like a 216. But it will also have single mode and non-zero dispersion glass in it. The difference has more to do with the access points. The longitudinal, if those colos are every 60 miles, you could think of as going 30 miles in each direction, and you can access it, for instance, for every cell tower, every metro network, third-party interconnect, etc. Whereas the long haul, you're just going to go straight through. The only places that we put splices in the long haul or where we have to for real length along the route.
How's Phase 1 progressing now?
Phase 1 is moving along great. We've been putting duct in the ground for the last 8 months, so we're about 97% complete putting the duct in between Chicago, New York, and Ashburn. Once we finish that duct over the course of the next couple of months, we'll jet the fiber in those two first ducts, and then we'll place the colos and be done building Phase 1, and at that point we can move on into Phase 2.
Which is?
Phase 2 basically picks up in Ashburn, Virginia, where Phase 1 leaves off, and it's going to take us south through Atlanta all the way to Miami. After we finish Phase 2, we've got Phase 3 that picks up in Chicago, west out to Seattle, and 4 takes us down the west coast, and 5 back through the southwest.
Back down across, connecting in Miami again?
Well, when we come across the southwest, we've got to make a decision. We can come into Jacksonville, or we could come into Atlanta. We've got to make that decision. Both routes are available. Makes
sense. So one last question for you before we wrap up. We're here at the CBX event. What are you looking to achieve here?
CBX is a great event for us every year. It's a great opportunity to meet with all the carriers, get together with many of our customers, and share, some of the progress that we're making and answer a lot of questions.
Well, we certainly look forward to continuing to be updated on the progress as you finish up phase one, as you move into phase two and beyond. We've been talking here at Telex's CBX event in New York with Jason Cohen from Allied Fiber.
Thank you,
Jason,
Erik.
thank you.